Welcome to the Sci-Fi Queens podcast where we celebrate all things sci-fi. If you're new to our channel here, we ask that you hit that subscribe and notification bell. We will really appreciate it as it will help our channel grow. If you'd like to support our channel, you can go to our website that's scrolling at the bottom of the page, sci-fi-queens.net. And you will find information on the queens, on our shows, and a link to our merch store as well. I am your host, Nita, your battle queen. And with me tonight is my co-host, the Queen of Darkness, Sarah, and a very, very, very VIP guest, Philip, and we are celebrating Pride. Yes. Yes, we are loud and we are out and we are celebrating Pride. And that's that. Okay.
Yes, we are.
Before we start, let's check in with everybody and see how everyone is doing. Philip, you are our guest, our very, very VIP guest. So tell us how you've been. What's going on with you?
I've been good. Just hanging out with my friends, trying to catch up on my TV watching, which is like I got 1,000 shows to watch. But other than that,
Yes.
I've been living life as best as I can, and that's the only thing you can do is take one day at a time and do it as best as possible.
Yes. And it is Pride. Anything
Yes.
special you did for Pride that you want to share with us?
Well, I went to the neighborhood here in Philadelphia, and we did. I do karaoke because I love karaoke, and
Yes.
we did that pretty much all day long. Hung out with my friends and stuff. Met some new people, and it was a nice time for me. Of course, I was at home.
Wonderful.
I was home in bed by 7 o'clock. I cannot hang like that anymore.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it. So, Sarah, Queen of Darkness,
Yes.
how are you doing? What's going on with you?
Just hiding inside from the rain today. It's been torrential all day, so it's coming your way.
I know it's coming my way. Every time they get rain, we'll get rain the next day. What's happening?
Yeah.
I tell her she needs to not share that particular photo.
Yeah.
She could keep it over
Sorry.
there.
And how are
But
you, Nina?
I'm doing
Yes.
fantastic. I had a great workout day today. Lots of working out, Muay Thai, strength training. Woo! I am busy today. It's my day off, but I feel like I did not have a day off, but I did a lot of working out and I feel really good. And I had a fantastic Muay Thai training session today, and I'm just
Good.
super proud of myself. I'm really happy about it. And yet last night, after dance class, I went to a social and we did some more dancing. Yeah, it did. When you take dance lessons, they do this thing, they call them socials, which are just parties where you dance the dance you're learning.
Okay.
And you get to dance with lots of different people and you just have a lot of fun, and it's super great and fun. And I love it. I just absolutely love it. It's so much fun and enjoyable. And it's just, I'm really having such a great year. I can't complain. I can't complain
That's
too
good.
much at all. Yes. Mel
here.
Mel is here. Hi girl, how you doing? She's there in the chat having a party with us. But yes, Tiffany could not be with us today. Family matters and family comes first, and sometimes these things happen. However, this time she sent us a video on her segment and her contribution to Pride. And we're going to start with listening to what she has to say, and then we're going to talk about it because she's not here. We're just going to talk about her. So let's take a look at what Tiffany had to say.
I hope everybody is having an amazing and fun Pride. For me, it's been full of schoolwork, busy mom life type stuff, so I am not able to be there tonight. But I prepared something. If you're new, welcome. My section of the show usually talks about TV and movies, and tonight I'm going to talk about Liz Feldman first. Liz Feldman is the creator and showrunner of one of my all-time favorite dark comedies on Netflix called Dead to Me. Dead to Me stars Christina Applegate and Linda Cardinelli, who I also love. This is a dark comedy crime thriller about the unlikely friendship between Jen and Judy. Liz has said that she wrote this series during a time of grief in her life. The focus is on a recently widowed and grieving woman and a free-spirited woman who she meets at a grief support group. Very good, worth a watch. And Liz has a WGA award to back that up for Dead to Me. She also has 4 daytime Emmys for her work as a writer on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. The creator I'm going to highlight is Jen Richards. Jen is a very prominent trans writer, actor, and advocate. She co-created and starred in the award-winning web series Her Story. What I want to talk about is her role in The Mayfair Witches. In the show, she plays Josephine JoJo Mayfair, sister to our main character. Her role was written for the show, as this character is not original to the source material, which is an Anne Rice novel, The Mayfair Witches. One of the show's main themes is about the power that the women inherit in the family that's passed down. And in the show, JoJo also inherits power. So the men in the family are not powerful, only the women. And she does inherit powers. And I love that they put that tidbit in, because it's trans visibility. It shows that her being trans is not only who she is, but also validated. Her being a woman is who she was born to be, because she inherited powers. That's all I have. Hopefully I'll see you guys at the next show. Who knows? Love you.
I love this so much. I mean, I did not know that because I love the Mayfair Witches. I didn't know that character wasn't part of the original book, because I didn't read the book. But she is right. Oh, in the storyline, only the women inherit the powers, not the men. And she is a trans character. She's known to be a trans character in the show. They know this, and she got powers, and that is very telling. And I love that they wrote that storyline like that. It's so beautiful, because it does validate the trans community as who they are. And it is so loving and beautiful to write that storyline that way. I think it's so progressive, and it really does speak to how Hollywood is starting to think and how writers are starting to think. So, Phil, talk to me about that. I don't know if you've ever watched that show or not, but I think that the storyline does speak.
Well, I'm an Anne Rice fan, and I read the Witch Chronicles, and I love them. And I think that's just awesome that they added that character in there. And I think Anne Rice would have gave the okay with that. I think she would have loved
Absolutely.
that.
Oh yeah,
Most
she was
definitely would have.
totally queer friendly.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I think I'm just loving seeing us out there, not just us, like on a show where we just say a couple of lines and then they talk about them
Mhm.
behind the back, and then we don't see them for another couple of episodes. And it's just
Mhm.
like, we're in there, we're in the groove, we're doing stuff, we're doing magic, we're flying, we're doing we're feeding
Yes.
our people. Yeah, we totally
Yes.
getting represented, and I love it.
Yeah. Yes, I love
Yes.
the broad spectrum of it, because it shows the queer community in all of these different areas
Mhm.
of science fiction, fantasy, drama, in all aspects of media, and I think that that's so necessary.
Well,
Yes.
and then the narrative's changing too. And we've talked about this before, but that the narrative's changing from where they're the token characters, like Philip said, they're just there to be laughed at, or the gay best friend or whatever, to
Yeah.
actual well-built, well-designed characters that are just part of the plot and not a footnote. That
Yeah.
they are part of the story. They belong. We've seen it in Star Trek. We've seen it in so many other shows now, and that's so I'm trying to look for the word. It's a justification that's been
Yes.
necessary. That's what I was trying to say.
Mhm. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that these characters are being written not as tokens, like for Star Trek Discovery, Dr. Colbert and his husband was written in the story without it being about that. It wasn't
Right.
about them.
Right.
Oh, and no one ever pointed that out. When Nurse Chapel talked about being in a relationship with a woman and a man, it was just talked about in conversation she was having with another crew member who was her friend. It wasn't about, let me point out her bisexuality. It was just
Well,
simply a part of conversation
and
that they were
even
having.
when Adira came out, she just, she said, I'm, they used the wrong pronouns, and like I just did, and they corrected them and said they them, that I don't
Yeah.
want to be she anymore. And then it's like, oh, okay, and then they just moved on, and it
Uh-huh.
wasn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't, how it should be, and it
Hmm.
wasn't an entire focus, and it wasn't like, oh my God, oh
Hmm.
my God, and and it wasn't a big deal. It was
Yeah.
just
And they didn't
accept it, move on.
constantly mispronoun her all the time. It was like that
Right.
one time so that people could get the gist that at one point we're just going to have to accept that not everybody goes by he or she.
Hmm.
And also,
Sometimes it's they and them.
it's just nice for somebody to recognize you as who you are, and saying
Yes.
they them. It's nice. It makes them feel better.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Exactly. Absolutely. And there should be no reason to hide. There should be no reason to fear. There should be no reason to just be yourself. That's the only thing you should have to be is
Yep.
yourself, whatever that self is.
Your authentic
Right.
self, whatever it
Ever,
is.
yes, absolutely. And being authentic changes your whole mentality. Being authentic changes how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you love yourself. And that's
Hmm.
really important. And I think that when we have characters in TV shows, in movies that are authentic and can love themselves, it teaches something. Because how much have we learned over the years from the characters that we saw? We learned a
Hmm.
lot. And
Hmm.
this will teach the next generation it's okay to be authentic. It is refreshing. It is liberating. Embrace it.
Yes.
You
Be
know?
you. Be you.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Um, so we're gonna start with Sarah now. I mean, we're gonna continue with Sarah. Sarah's segment. I gotta say, guys, I can't wait for you guys to hear this. It's beautiful, and I don't know everything she's gonna say, but based on what she sent me to put in these slides, my heart was just overjoyed, and I can't wait to hear about this beautiful scientist that
Because I
we
got
are
lots to say.
featuring. Yes, speaking girl, check
Okay.
her out.
Okay. This is Shrook El Attar. She, they, is an electronics. Hold on, my computer's spazzing. I'm sorry. Electronics engineering consultant and PCB, which is printed circuit board, just so we are on the same page. Design expert, who is also known as a keynote speaker, a content creator, a belly dancer, a board member of several organizations, and a founder and chair of a trust that supports LGBTQ people in Egypt. El arrived in the UK in 2007 at the age of 15, together with her mother and siblings. However, their asylum claim was rejected and the family was deported. El was eventually granted asylum because of her LGBTQ status. However, she described the process she went through as difficult and even humiliating at points. Elatar states that she was lucky because she had already been living in the UK for a while before going through the process, but that other refugees who might be escaping death or incarceration would not necessarily have the same access as she did to character witnesses. She identifies as queer, an umbrella term covering a multitude of sexual and gender minorities. She has expressed her conviction that she would not be alive were she to try and live her life openly in Egypt as she does now in the UK. In Egypt, during her early teens, she was 2 years ahead of her classmates and was set to start university at 16. But her arrival in Britain changed all that. Although, as of 2018, Elatar was studying for her master's degree in engineering at Cardiff University, she herself was denied the chance to study at university during the years she was applying for asylum. According to a nationwide university policy, which treated asylum seekers as international students, subject to vastly higher fees, while at the same time forbidding them to work. This effectively barred her and others of the most vulnerable prospective students from access to education. Moreover, this was in spite of the fact that she was accepted into every university she applied to. She completed her bachelor's and master's degree in engineering at Cardiff. Previously, she worked as a systems engineer, design engineer in Cardiff, an assistant lecturer of engineering, an interpreter, a museum guide, and as a theater and radio actor. For her master's research in electron paramagnetic resonance (EPR), she created new methods utilizing microwaves to identify organic material based on electron quantum spin, including some cancers. Elatar expressed that as a teenager, not being allowed to study engineering at university due to being an asylum seeker strongly impacted her mental health, and that despite this, she became a STEM ambassador in 2011. Her most recent STEM outreach activity is teaching mathematics to refugee children. In 2018, she joined other refugees' rights campaigners to address the British Parliament and tell about their experiences. One of Elatar's primary issues on behalf of refugees is access to education, like I said before. While she was waiting for her opportunity to achieve higher education, she joined an activist group called STAR, Student Action for Refugees, and campaigned for asylum seekers to be treated as British students within the educational system. There are now more than 60 universities in the UK accepting asylum seekers as students, and she now sits on a board of trustees for the charity STAR, with over 30,000 volunteers across the UK. So she made some real change.
Wow.
In March 2018, Shrook was awarded Young Woman of the Year by the United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR, for her work on behalf of refugee rights in the UK. In the same year, she was one of the women chosen to be BBC's 100 most influential women in the world. Then
Nice.
she was selected as a 2021 Young Woman Engineer of the Year. And then in 2024, she was recognized as one of the top 5 electronics engineering entrepreneurs in the UK, and that's men and women, and one of the top 24 British role models in STEM, men and women. With over a decade in the industry, she collaborated with NASA and the European Space Agency on the Artemis mission that just recently went back to the moon, delivering radiation-tolerant PCB boards for space.
Wow.
We're almost done. Stroke
Wow.
belly dances in drag as a method of protesting her country's treatment of LGBTQ people, where where they are imprisoned and sectioned into mental health asylums. She has performed all over the UK, Europe, and in countries as far as Japan and India, and was featured on many well-known media outlets like Huffington Post, BBC, Reuters, Pink News, and BuzzFeed. Since the beginning of her drag belly dancing performance as Dancing Queer, Shrook has been donating part of her booking fee to ensure she can contribute to enhance the safety of LGBTQ community in her country of birth. Now, this work has accumulated in the foundation of the Shrook El Attar Trust, called SEAT, that's the name of the foundation. Pro Proceeds from performances, lectures, merchandise sales, and donations are all given to individuals who have requested help, fundraising initiatives, and local associations that give mental health and housing support, creating safe spaces for the LGBTQ community. Aid and empowerment are provided to people in Egypt and the surrounding region, as well as those in the community who live abroad. All said and done, Shrouk El Attar is an amazing human.
Wow. She's amazing indeed.
Yes, she
I
is.
mean, she
Yeah,
made
left you speechless.
radiation, radiation safe keyboards for space.
Yeah,
Radiation is a big deal in
circuit
space.
boards. Yeah, yeah.
Circuit boards, yeah. Wow. I, and it's sad that still in 2026,
Hmm.
if you're gay, you get put in a mental institution. That was something that
Yeah,
actually was happening.
Yeah.
and it's not expressly illegal to be queer in Egypt, but societal and religious pressures apply and are very strict. So
Mhm.
Mm.
that's, she wasn't
Yeah.
even out to her family when, they came here, and then her family got deported and she stayed. So that had to be hard.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Go ahead, Philip. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, no. Yeah. I when you sent me the information about her, I automatically went to her website, and it's like this. I was just impressed with her. I just love it when you have a representation of somebody who's very smart, but also is in the community and is just wonderful. And then the belly dancing is the
Yeah, and
cherry on
she wears
top.
a
Yes.
beard. I don't know if you
I
can put that picture up
yes,
again.
I
I
know.
She
love
Oh,
it.
she
yes,
she
yes,
she wears a
absolutely.
beard when she belly dances to
Yes,
bring to highlight that she is queer and here.
Yeah.
And because she doesn't have a beard. So it's part of her
No, she
costume.
doesn't.
yeah.
And yeah,
I went to
Yeah.
watch her on her Instagram. She is great. I love it.
yes, I love it.
I love it when we feature someone and we all kind of just gravitate and follow them. It's very exciting, because that's my point, right? Of all of
Mhm.
this is to get people to think, is to get people to understand the impact that science and sci-fi has in this world, and
Hmm.
what she's doing is critical. Radiation in space is a huge deal.
Yes,
There is so much radiation that everything they have up there has to be safe,
to be
has
radiation
to,
proof and
yeah,
safe and
they
yeah.
absolutely, because they'll die. Like, you can get radiation
Yeah,
poisoning and they'll die. And
it'll kill
so for
electronics
her,
too.
absolutely. And if you don't have electronics that working, you can't communicate with Earth. You can't.
You did.
You're
Yeah.
stuck in space.
Hello, gravity.
Yeah. And but she's doing such beautiful work, and she's using art and dancing, and I love
Yes.
it. I love the dancing. I love the dancing, and she's using the dancing to express her emotions, her feelings, her art. And that's
Mhm.
something that I've learned in the last 11 months learning Brazilian souk, is how connected it is to us emotionally, and how much we can express and feel our bodies move, and learn about ourselves, and learn how beautiful and how sexy we are through dance. And
Mhm.
she's doing that for so many people.
Yeah.
And she is just amazing. I
Mhm.
love, I think this year she's my favorite. She's my favorite scientist. I love the work that she's doing. I
Mhm.
love that she gives back to the community,
Yes.
and that she's mentoring these people, in that are immigrating, and are trying to get education, and are trying to change their
Mhm.
lives for the better. And she's mentoring them and being a part of that, because that helped her, right? And
Mhm.
she's
Hmm.
giving back, and that's always so beautiful. But
Yes.
Sarah, what was the one thing that, because you have like a slew of people you could have chosen,
Yep.
but what gravitated you to her? What about her made you say she's the winner?
Um, because she not only is she smart and incredible and brilliant, but she does it's not just she brought herself up, but she puts her hand back for others. And that's we need that and we need to highlight that because you know where there's always there's not always, but there's a lot of visibility. Sometimes there's not always that giving back, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I liked about her is that and it's not just like a little bit. And like she went before Parliament and made real change. And now, while they're seeking their asylum, they can go to school and,
Hmm.
and better themselves and be, not just standing around because they couldn't go to school and they couldn't work while they're waiting. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Stand around and stare at the wall? I mean,
Exactly.
that
Right.
that's not
Yeah.
good for your mental health either. So, you know,
Yeah.
making it
Yeah.
the accessibility to education and more options and an easier pathway for some maybe that's like she's paving the road and
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I love that she's so giving. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah. I just yeah. I think it's important just to try to give back just a little bit. If you can
Yeah.
just a little bit. to help it make it the next generation, make it much more better for them. Not just
Oh
say,
yeah.
oh well, I got here, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Forget about it, but she's doing more. I mean, she's
She's
up
doing too
on the
much.
plate,
Yes.
and I love it. She is
She's
fantastic.
next level. She's next
Yes.
level. She really is giving so much.
Yes.
The refugees, the public speaking, the activism, and LGBTQ rights and campaigning.
Hmm.
And that belly dancing, let me tell you, dancing does so much for the
Hmm.
community, because maybe she will encounter someone who may not be able to accomplish academically what she has, but can accomplish something beautiful in dance,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
magnificent in
Hmm.
dance, and could really do something with their lives with dancing. And she's
It's
giving
that,
them that expression. Yeah,
yeah, and it's that
absolutely.
visibility that we were talking about, and that,
Hmm.
Hmm.
being able to be your authentic self and being
Yeah.
visible to others that may need to see it.
Right.
Hmm. Absolutely. I'm so elated that she was your choice, because first of all, when I saw that image, I was like, you can sort of see the flag in the back
Hmm.
Yeah.
if you look at those colors in the scarf that
Yeah.
she's doing.
Yes.
But yet it has more blue, and she's got all this beautiful makeup, and I mean, she's just lovely. And I think that, uh I'm gonna put up her public
Yeah.
information there, so you guys can follow her, because she's wonderful, and I think that we need to keep track of her, because she's going to be
Hmm.
doing great things, and we need
Yeah.
to find out what she's doing next, and we need to highlight those things, because she's doing wonderful things,
Hmm.
Yes.
for the community, and not just for the community. I'm gonna correct myself. She's doing great things for the world.
Hmm.
Well,
Everyone
and
benefits from what she's doing.
yeah, and it's for everyone in STEM. And
Yeah.
that was one of the things that
Hmm.
she talked about in some of the interviews that I read, is that really need diversity, and that's what she's
Yeah.
bringing to STEM, and she's trying to. That's with her outreach with the refugees, and is to give them opportunities to get education, so that you know uh, the STEM field isn't so monochromatic, if you know what I'm trying to say,
Right. Hmm.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
not queer friendly. Like I know last year, um, I highlighted Lauren Esposito. She was the arachnologist that formed 500 Queer Scientists, and that's what she's trying to do too.
Yeah.
Is bring diversity to the STEM field, and they just got to keep working at it, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that her work, is not work that only helps the LGBTQ community. Okay.
Oh no, she got the
It's,
astronauts to the
yeah,
moon. I mean, like,
Hmm.
what?
exactly. I mean, she's helping astronauts survive and explore space. I love exploration of space.
Hmm.
And it's not a gay spaceship, okay? It's just a spaceship with
Hmm.
astronauts.
Right.
Yeah,
Everyone is benefiting from her work. Everyone is
yeah,
benefiting from the research that's done, because her work has allowed it to happen, because they have
right.
the right equipment that isn't going to poison them. you know, every one of us benefits from this, and this is beautiful. And that is
Hmm.
what science does. Right.
Yes.
And it's inclusive, and it's beautiful, and it's just so elating to me that she is just so powerful. I love it. And this is one of those people we need to keep our eye on, because I
Hmm.
know she's going to do great things,
Yeah.
greater things. Because
Yes.
what people need to understand is the
Yeah, she's not
laws
even 30
are
yet.
exactly ridiculous. She shouldn't. What's happening there? Um,
Yeah.
People understand, when laws are passed and are successfully passed to benefit a community in other countries, that trickles down. Other countries
Hmm.
begin to go, we need to catch up to them. We
Hmm.
need to be like them. And it starts to influence other world countries, aka our own here in the United States.
Hmm.
So although she is working, in the UK, doesn't mean that it has no influence here. It absolutely has influence here. And that is something that we need to keep our eye out on, because we see it happening. We see the horrors that are happening in this country and how they're influencing other countries. But the same can be said about wonderful things as well.
Hmm.
Wonderful things that are passed legally and laws will influence other countries. And I'm hoping that her effort in the UK will begin to influence this country and all other countries and her own Egypt. It would be probably the most proudest moment and the happiest moment of her life to know that her own country has stopped what they're doing to the
Yeah.
LGBTQ community. You know, they're still struggling the struggles that that the LGBTQ community started years ago here and have
Hmm.
come along such a way. There's still more fight to be done, but the beginning fights they're still going through it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're still going through it,
Yeah.
and our hearts go out to them for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, so, any last words before we move on to books?
She's fabulous.
Yes,
Yes.
she is fabulous. She is fabulous. Yes. I am highlighting this beautiful. And she's gonna be on my to be read list. I'm doing writing on my own, so reading has been postponed for me because I'm editing and writing. And guys, I got a little bit of an announcement before I read this. I might be I'm gonna be in an anthology with Eric Williamson and a host of beautiful artists and writers. But my own book should be out by the end of the year, and it is a children's
Nice.
novel. It's a children's book, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys more about that later. But yeah, it's in the work.
Congratulations.
The book is finished. The illustrator is working on the illustration, and I got some wonderful indie authors helping me with some of the questions that she asked me that I need to answer and tell her dimensions and all these things that I don't understand. They're going to be helping me, and I'm super grateful about that. But yeah, the book is called The Boy with Many Names, and I'm actually working on a series of children's novel called The Simeon Squad's Adventure. And there's about so far three fully finished books. And I'm working on a fourth one because that's going to be a series.
Yes.
And I'm hoping to use the same artist because she's really easy to work with and I love her. And so, yeah. My reading has been a little bit postponed because I've been busy with that, and I'm still editing my sci-fi novel. That's going to be a little slower process. That's a bigger book, and so the sci-fi and the real science has to mesh, and I need an actual editor for this one.
Mhm.
So I am going to be talking about Becky Chambers, and she has written, and I'm going to talk about two of her books, because I think that she's an amazing author, and I've actually read some of her stuff, so I know that she's a really good author. Becky Chambers wrote A Sound for the Wild Build, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a synopsis of the book. On the moon of Panga, humans live in a sustainable solar punk society after robots gained self-awareness centuries ago and left for the wilderness. Sibling Dex, a non-binary T-monk, feels a deep restlessness despite a peaceful life, serving comforts to others, seeking meaning. Dex travels into the wild and unexpectedly meets Mascot, the first robot to return to human contact since the separation. Together, they journey through abandoned places and lush wilderness, exploring big questions about purpose, need, and what it means to live a fulfilling life. Their conversations form the heart of the story, blending gentle philosophy with a cozy sci-fi theme. She had me at robot, right?
Hmm.
Because I'm a big Isaac Asimov fan. I have all his robot series. I love me a robot that comes with some tension. So I'm really excited to read this book, and I am going to bring this back to do a deeper review and my own synopsis of it because she had me at robot. I mean, I love the illustration of the robot in the path, right? She is an amazing author, and she just has such beautiful sci-fi and meaning in her writing. I've read some of her stuff. Is She's lovely. I love it. I absolutely love it. If you like robots, this is the one for you. Okay, this is this is definitely. I just love the fact that she's got a monk in there and they're exploring philosophy. I can't. I love it. She also has this book, which I actually have read, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I love this book. Very good. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Rosemary Harper joins the Wayfarers, a patched up tunneling ship whose diverse multi-species crew travel the galaxy building wormholes. Hoping to escape her past, Rosemary finds herself among the chaotic but loving found family. Engineers, a reptilian pilot, an AI, a doctor chef hybrid, and more. When the crew accepts a dangerous, high paying job to punch a hyperspace tunnel through worm torn space, they face political tension, alien cultures, personal secrets that test their bond. The novel focuses on character relationships, emotional growth, and the meaning of chosen family rather than traditional space opera battle. That the reason I love this book is exactly that, is that chosen family um theme, because I feel like my chosen family is probably bigger than my actual family, and we're closer and knows me and knows my
Mhm.
heart and knows who I am, more so than my actual family. And I think that that's something that's true with a lot of us in the LGBTQ community, where our chosen family has become our family.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
that's this is one of those books that explores that topic so well. And I absolutely love her writing. It's absolutely beautiful. And this book I have read, and it is truly just one of the most funnest thing to read. Because as a Trekkie, right? Wormholes are not something you see a lot of, but when they do, they take you places. But these people actually are doing it purposely, and I love that concept too. Um, so I actually totally encourage you guys to read these books. They are absolutely so much fun. This is funny, this is heartwarming, and it is just so engaging. This book, that there are sometimes readings that just you want that next page, you want that next page.
Mhm.
She writes that way, and I love that
Yes.
about her. I admire that about her. So yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to ask Phil,
Yes.
um talk to me about growing up loving sci-fi, loving fantasy. How seen did you feel you saw yourself in these characters? How did you connect? Um
Well, that's a hard question, but at first, I mean, it's sci-fi. I love sci-fi, so I'm into it. I'm into it. Alien worlds, flying in spaceships, going through time and space. That at
Timey
a young
wimey.
age, yes, tell me why I'm into it. But I think I'm trying to think when I actually saw myself. Um, it would have to be more Star Trek Next Generation. We had Worf and we had Geordi, we had
Mhm.
Guinan. We
Woo!
started
They,
seeing
they, they,
people
we started seeing
of
lots
our
of
color.
blackity black on that one for
Yes, we
sure.
started
Yes.
seeing color. We start seeing. that representation of us on these sci-fi shows, and which made it even more
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. And even when Doctor Who came back in 2005, we started seeing other brown people. We started hearing from them. We had our first, I think, which yeah, Martha was the first black female companion on Doctor
Yeah.
Who. So
Yeah.
in a major role like that, it's nice to see that. It's nice, and that's I love that, and that's when I started seeing myself in sci-fi.
Yeah. And now,
And
when you saw Discovery, right? Star Trek
yes,
Discovery,
love Discovery,
but they
love
had
it.
this beautiful gay couple, married, loving, just everything you want in partnership. How did you feel seeing that?
It was nice. It was nice to hear that they had problems, but they didn't make it a gay thing. You know what I mean? They didn't
Yeah.
make it like this is a gay thing. No, they had problems just like everyone else had problems.
Yeah.
And
They their
love seeing that.
problems,
And I don't
even
have
if
like
they, I think that even if they would have been a man and a woman, let's say,
it
what
would have
they
been the same
went through
thing.
as a couple, it would have been the same thing.
Right, it would
They
have
would
been
have gone through the
exactly
same
the
thing.
same thing. And I'm being a little bit foolish here right now. Both of them were hot, and I'm like, what you got? Why
Yes.
y'all having problems? Stop! Just after y'all get off of work, just be with each other,
Yes.
Yeah.
But
If you
yeah, I
don't want
love
to be with them, I'll be with them. You're hot. I'm okay with that.
both of them
I
gorgeous,
could be
and
the sandwich. I could be the meat in the sandwich anytime. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I said what I said, and I'm sticking to it. They
but
were
yeah,
hot.
but yeah, Discovery, yeah, I loved it. It was just, and it was natural. It didn't feel like it was forced or
Yep.
anything like that. And that's what I like about
Hmm.
seeing us, you know, the ubiquity community, as I put it, seeing us represented like that, just not
Yes.
being forced, but just being just like everyday people. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how about you, Sarah? When was the moment when you were watching sci-fi or fantasy, or either where you said, I I'm seeing
Um,
what
I
show?
think
It doesn't have to be Star Trek, but what show
I think it was
did it
Deep
for
Space
you?
Nine. I think it was Deep Space Nine when Jadzia kissed her previous wife, and I
Yes.
was like, and it was like, okay, 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 because we didn't see a lot of that, and
Yeah.
then um, and then in Discovery, and Starfleet Academy, Jet Reno. I mean, I
Yes.
love her.
Yes.
She is just.
I
I
love
mean,
her.
she's like she's very stereotypical in my opinion because she's like every old lesbian woman that I know. It's just like I'm here and I'm queer and fuck you, pretty much. I mean, I don't care. She doesn't care about your opinion. She's gonna tell you like it is and deal with it, or
Hmm.
don't. But it doesn't matter to me. And that's, I see so many of our elders in, represented, and it makes me feel like it's okay. There's so many
Yep.
things, um, like you were saying, getting uh, racial representation first, and then now we're getting queer representation, and even um, mental health representation,
Yes.
in Discovery, and we had, Detmer had PTSD, and I had PTSD, and that was like they're actually going to show it, and they're not just going to be like, oh, send her to a med bay. Like they talked her through her.
Exactly.
They talked to, because usually, something happens, oh, send them to sick bay, and it
Hmm.
wasn't like that. It was like, okay,
Hypo
we're
spray. A
gonna make it through
hypo
it.
spray.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make it
Everything is
go
a
away.
hypo spray.
Yeah, hypo spray and make it go away, and that's not how it works. So
Hmm.
I mean, I really enjoyed that where things are going now, and not just in sci-fi, but in fantasy too, that we're seeing more and more just everything and everyone. And it's, it's not monochromatic, like I said. we're seeing colors and diversity, and we're seeing representation, and it's okay. And that's important,
Yeah.
not just for us, but for the next generation.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'll say, and it's probably going to come as a surprise. I have been watching science fiction since I was 5. Okay, it started with Star Trek, the original series. But I have to say that the first time that suddenly had that aha moment of, oh my God, I'm being represented, was in Star Trek Discovery when Colbert just talks to the hologram of his grandmother,
Yeah.
and he's saying how Puerto Rican he is. And he's talking about mofongo. And he's talking about food that I grew up in. He's talking to grandma. We all go to our grandma. That's a Puerto Rican thing. We go
Yeah.
to grandma.
Yeah.
That's just what we do. And you've seen a lot of Latinos uh in space, right? But
Hmm.
none of them were outright Puerto Rican. There was one character in the Space Nine, but they killed him off. So we didn't make it too far. And but when he had his dying moment, that character, and he's talking about the carnival. Carnival is a huge thing in Puerto Rico culturally, and they give it throughout the island, and every area has its own, and it's a big deal. It's huge. And when he
Mm-hmm.
was talking about it, it just made me remember my first carnival and my first time,
Hmm.
but he dies. Okay, he wasn't, he was like, an engineer to be like, but Colbert, he's a doctor. He's up there. He's not he's high ranking. He's an officer, and he's married, and he's loving as can
You,
be.
you mean
uh
he's not a red shirt?
no, he's not Russian, and he's gorgeous, and he's all the things, and so young,
Hmm.
and I'm like, thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you for representing us that way. What he did for Puerto Ricans in space is honestly what Uhura did for Black women and Black people in space,
Hmm.
because she
Yeah.
represented Black people and people of color and women of color with grace and dignity and beauty and sex appeal and authority and talent. She brought that to Star Trek. Okay, and he did that for us as Puerto Ricans, specifically Puerto Ricans. And I thought that was my moment where I said, we made it into space.
Yay!
Space, the island still exists, yes. um because a lot of time they lump us all, and that's okay. We share a lot of commonalities, but we are different in so many ways as well. That lumping us all into one category may not really showcase all of us correctly.
Right.
Hmm.
So that was my moment, that I felt that I was seen. And it was so exciting and I love the fact, I'm just gonna say, I love the fact that they made his character gay and married. I was like, yes, can we just be full on represented this way? Thank you very much. I thought it was beautiful. And I love what TV and movie and authors are doing, with characters, and writing characters this way, and representing people of a multitude of areas and communities. Uh, but I love it more when it comes to the LGBTQIA plus community, when it's our own LGBTQIA community writing about it,
Hmm.
because there's a different feel to it. I don't know
Yes.
if
Mm-hmm. It is. It
right
is a
is
different
yeah.
feel. It's
Hmm.
more, I
Yes.
would say, more natural.
Yes.
And authentic.
Hmm.
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm.
And I think that living that life, knowing that life, walking that life, better gives you a better understanding of how how
Yeah.
to represent
Hmm.
in a way that you yourself want to be seen, right?
Right.
And that's the beauty of making sure that we have representation in that writing room.
Right.
Because when you have it in that writing room, you will have it with actors, you will have it with storylines, you would have it with scenarios, and just making it seamless and natural. It will be beautiful. And I love the fact
Right.
that I don't know if they aimed to hire actual gay men to play these parts. But I love the fact that they did, because
Yeah.
there are plenty of actors that can do this just fine.
Mhm.
But it's different when it comes from within that community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. But guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you, Philip, for joining us
You're
in
welcome.
celebrating Pride. And I wish everyone a happy Pride. I wish everyone a happy weekend. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to us. We will be on Spotify tomorrow morning when I upload. And Tiffany, we missed you. Thank you for your video. We appreciate you. But unless you guys have one last thing to say, we are going to say goodnight.
Hey, good night, everyone. Live long and
night.
Good
prosper. Happy
night.
Pride.
Happy Pride. Thank you for watching the Sci-Fi Queens. And be sure to support us on all our social medias. And check out our website,